Ever notice how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with? That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're an Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I will slap you.
Go ahead, make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Welcome to the third hour of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. We are uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Taking your phone calls at 888-775-3773, 888-77-JESSE. You can also go to my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Put in number 1, click like, and keep up with what's going on. This dictator died. He expired, I guess last night or yesterday. Kim Jong Il died. And I'm looking at the news this morning, and I see people crying. I mean, just boo-hooing in the streets over this guy expiring. A dictator now. And I thought, wow, you would think that they would be celebrating that this dictator is dead. But then it occurred to me, maybe they can't outwardly celebrate. Maybe something will happen because the sons are now taking over North Korea, have now taken over. And I hope that the father will rot in hell, by the way, Kim Jong Il. I hope he's dancing with Elijah Muhammad. Remember, Louis Farrakhan said he went up in a spaceship and had a chat with Elijah Muhammad? Well, I'm hoping that Kim Jong Il and Elijah Muhammad are both dancing in hell together right now. But anyway, I'm deviating a little bit. So I'm looking at these people crying and just sobbing in the streets because the dictator is dead. And I'm hoping that inwardly they're celebrating that he's dead, but they can't express it on the outside. I want to give them somewhat the benefit of the doubt. But then I realized some people love dictators. You know, you have someone that's take care of you all your life, and then they're gone. You're going to vote in someone else who can take care of you. And lo and behold, as my grandmother would say, it reminded me of black people in America, how they love dictators. It reminded me that when they were free from slavery, many of them, not all, but many of them went and voted in another dictator, someone else to take care of them, because they just lost that ability or didn't want to develop that ability to take care of themselves. And it just reminded me so much of black people. I was on a panel of a black entertainment TV show recently. And it's going to air. I'll let you know when. It's a new show that they created. And it just reminded me of all that how these black folks, not all, but most black people, would vote in a dictator before they vote in a person that will help them or show them how to become a free people. As I said on that panel, black people hate people who are good. They would never vote for a good man or woman. They will only vote for an evil man or woman, someone who's going to dictate their life for them, take care of them, tell them, don't worry, I'll take care of you. That's why they live on the Democratic plantation, because the Democrats are just like Kim Jong Il. They take care of black people by throwing them a bone, giving them free houses, free health care, free everything. You can have your children out of wedlock, and don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. And that's why they help to keep most black people brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. Most blacks are suffering not because of racism, but because they're immoral. And they're kept that way by their dictators. They keep electing and voting in people who are going to keep them down. And this is another reason I try to encourage white Americans, and some of them are starting to speak up, that you got to tell the truth to black people because they've been brainwashed. If you notice, they hate good people like Clarence Thomas or Walter Williams or Jesse Peterson or Herman Cain, Dr. Condoleezza Rice. They don't like people like that. I want to give you I got several examples I'm going to give you this morning of black people loving dictators, people that take care of them. Here is Maxine Waters saying to a church load of black people at Crenshaw Christian Center in Los Angeles, and Crenshaw Christian Center is headed up by founded by Frederick Casey Price. His son is the preacher now there. Frederick has retired. Here is the dictator, Maxine Waters, speaking to the crowd, telling them, I'm going to make sure you stay in the projects.
As far as I'm concerned, they will not touch Nickerson Gardens, Jordan Downs, Imperial Courts, Hacienda, the Pueblos,
those are the projects.
None of our public housing, because we're not going to have them torn down. We need money placed into the development of housing in this country, and one of the things we're going for is a National Housing Trust Fund to build more housing, rental units, and residences.
Isn't that amazing? The black people sitting in the church at Frederick Casey Price Church, this wicked woman, their dictator, the woman that they love, told them or is telling them, I'm going to make sure you stay in the projects. They want to tear them down, referring to the Republicans, but I'm not going to let them do it. And she named all the projects. And not only are we going to do that, we're going to make sure we're going to build some more for you. And you heard the folks in the background, yeah, ooh, yeah, praise the Lord. Maxine going to keep us in the projects. Isn't that amazing? And I guarantee you, with all that is within me, God forbid, I'm not encouraging that at all. I'm just comparing Kim Jong Il, whatever his name is, to that of the dictators in the black communities across the country. If anything should happen to Maxine Waters, you would see black Americans crying in the streets because they've lost their dictator. They've lost the person who take care of them. You would see black men and women crying in the streets because their dictator is gone. And then what they would do is go out and vote in another one. They would not vote in a person that would set them free. They would vote in a person that would take care of them, control them. Corrupt people elect corrupt politicians. They elect corrupt preachers. Black people would not go to a church where the preacher was of God. They would go to a church where the preacher lied to them, make them feel good about being wrong, take their money, and tell them that it's not their fault. Jesus loved them. I'm telling you, it's no different than the folks in North Korea. And I'm telling you this because it's Christmas and you need to pay attention to what's going on. Why do you think they love this godless Barack Obama and Big Mama so much? I have more examples of this when I come back. And I'm taking your calls, whether you agree or disagree, at 888-77-53-773, 888-77-JESSE. Toll-free number. Back in a moment.
Our newborn king to see.
Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the show. I am Jesse Lee Peterson, taking your phone calls at 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. I am attempting here to show you why most black people are racist, brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. And we got to be honest about it in hope that we can wake at least one of them up. Because in God's eyes, if you can wake one up, you got 1,000 going there. All right? And I'm using the comparison between the dictator of North Korea, Kim Jong Il. He expired. He's dead. One of Satan's son is dead. If the choice was between Jesus Christ and Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton or Louis Farrakhan, black people would choose those people over Jesus Christ himself. And you're probably saying, no, they wouldn't. Yes, they would. They would do that. They have done that already. Are black people free? No. But they go to church and they lift up holy hands and they hoop and holler and carry on. They quote the scriptures. I know, but they're not free because they have not chosen Jesus. They have chosen the godless black preachers or Jesse Jackson, one of those people, and those godless people. That's why they're not free. They pretend that they have chosen Jesus, but they haven't. And so I got a text from my smart and wise and intelligent PR guy, Ermias. He said, I know Maxine is bad, but Kim Jong starved and killed his own people. And then he goes on to say, I get the comparison. You should make the point that even though these black leaders don't kill the physical body, they are killing the black soul. And I agree with that too, sir. Smart, very, very wise. But what do you think happens in the projects? Murder, rape, stealing, killing, drugs, everything you can think of is happening in the projects where black people live. Maxine and others may not be doing it exactly the way that Kim Jong Il did it, but the fact that they are deliberately keeping black Americans hating white folks, being racist to white folks, being immoral, and living in the projects, I think they have a hand in it somewhere. And we had to go to court. That would call aiding and abetting. They will have a hand in it. Maxine Waters and others will go to jail too, because they're not doing it themselves, but they're definitely helping to keep black Americans in a position where a lot of young black people grow up thinking, and they're surprised when they become an adult because they don't expect to live to become an adult. So I'm just saying, here's another example of black people choosing dictators over what is right. Here is the love of Obama out of Detroit.
Why are you here?
To get some money.
What kind of money?
Obama money.
Where's it coming from?
Obama.
And where did Obama get it?
I don't know. His stash. I don't know. I don't know where he got it from. But he giving it to us to help us. We love him. We love him. That's why we voted for him. Obama.
Can we say dictatorship? Can we say Kim Jong Il? You see the comparison? Another point that my PR judge just referred to, he said, yeah, I know. And then he mentioned abortion. Very good point, sir. I'm telling you, Maxine Waters, the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, and this so-called Occupy the Dream movement is no different than a dictatorship. It's no different. This is why they keep black Americans in that or brainwashed condition so that they can use them. And these people vote in dictators over and over and over again. And then if you become free, like I escaped from the dictators, I woke up one day, God caused me to wake up, and I was able to leave the plantation, start thinking for myself. They see me as a traitor. White on the inside, black on the outside, Alcatom, a sellout. If they can capture me, they would capture me and turn me over to Obama and to Maxine Waters, to the dictators. This is why white Americans got to tell black people the truth. They can't see that they support dictators.
This has been the Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show, produced by Bond Action. To access the podcast of this show, visit us on the web at bondaction.org.